Now that school is out and summer is finally here, the unofficial start of summer that is, we have been really making the most of the remainder of our sowing and planting season. It has been such a wet spring. I've heard it said that May this year has had the most rainy days on record since they started keeping records of these things, and I fully believe it. We have had so much rain, and still allergies are at an all-time worst. So we are just really making the most of it and still very much enjoying being outdoors when we can. Even on the days when it's raining, we spend so much time on the porch, and part of that is because we got our porch kind of dressed up. It's all decorated with flowers now, which is what I'm working on here in the beginning of this video. And while I do that, I just wanted to give you a couple of little updates of our homestead. We have had a lot of things happen in the last few weeks as school was wrapping up, and we were trying to just keep our head above water. I have not been able to post a whole lot, but we've also still had a lot going on around here, as is the case with anywhere you go, any kind of homestead or farm or home in general. Honestly, home ownership is not for the weary. But with that being said, the good news is that our local high school was having a plant sale. The FFA at the high school does a fundraising sale every spring. They sell all kinds of starter plants, both vegetables and flowers. So I went and bought like 3 flats of flowers and had no clue where they were all going to go. I just knew that I had places that they could go and I would make room for them. So I think I got all 3 flats for like $40, which is such a steal, and I just loved being able to support our local students here. I love that they are learning these things from such an early age. Looking back, I was very much involved in sports and things like that in high school. I was in like Beta Club and FCA, but never really knew much about what happened in 4-H or FFA. But knowing my life now, I think it would have been so beneficial to have been a part of that. I did take a home ec class, which I absolutely loved, and was one of the few in my high school that actually enjoyed sewing and cooking and learning more about those things. But also the outdoor element, the planting, the growing, the tending, and taking care of animals and things like that. I just wish that I would have dove more into, but I'm very grateful that the students who are there now are taking advantage of this opportunity, and they just know so much. There's such a wealth of knowledge. I love going in there, and just they know exactly what I have in my tray, how much to charge me. It's really cool to see that in young people these days. So while we had the good news of the plant sale going on at the high school, and we got lots of fun stuff from that, we also had some sad news. We lost Roger, our rooster, to a neighborhood dog. It's actually a dog that we had never seen before. As some of you know, Roger is kind of like our personal dog. We don't have any dogs here on our homestead, not right now at least. I'm not the biggest dog fan. We've had a dog in the past, and once he got older and we had to put him down, we just didn't get another one. We had kids that were really, really little at the time, like babies and not even 2 years old. And so we just thought, until our kids get older, we're not going to take on another dog. Especially because as our previous dog got older, he did get aggressive. So it just gave us a lot of concerns with having small children, and also living on only an acre on 2 busy roads. It's enough in and of itself trying to keep our children contained and safe, and then putting a dog on top of that, watching out for its well-being, watching out for our kids' well-being with the dog, all these things. But when I tell you Roger was our pet dog, even though he was a rooster, he followed us everywhere. He was so good. I've heard so many horror stories about roosters and being mean and spurring kids and just all of these things, and he has been so kind to our children. We always taught them to be mindful of his space, to not stir him on or, give him any reason to get upset with us. But he would just follow us around everywhere, and they could kind of chase him around the yard from a distance, and he would just play. And anyways, it was really sad. He was our only free-range chicken that we had left. All of the others had either wandered off or also gotten attacked by dogs. And honestly, Roger was kind of like a dog in the sense that he followed us, but he was also like a cat because he pretty much lived 9 lives. There were many times in the middle of the night where we heard him escaping the attack of a dog, and I just wish that people enforced leash laws better. But from now on, we will be keeping all of our chickens inside the pen. If you saw in our previous videos, my husband Nicholas extended our coop, so hopefully we will not have any more of these issues. Though we do love our chickens being able to free range more. We know that that's better for them. We would just rather them be safe at this point, and their eggs are still plenty good enough for us and healthy enough, so we will take what we can get while we can get it. We're just trying to do what we can with what we have. Okay, so I'm just gonna do a very quick garden tour. It'll be very quick because, one, things are still very much growing. They're growing well and growing quickly, but they're just not very big yet. Two, because I don't remember a lot of what I've planted. I did not mark my beds as I should have, but that's okay. I remember the important things, which is the food and like what's what, whatever, you'll see. So first of all, in raised beds, we have carrots coming up super well. I need to thin them a little bit, but they're really doing good. And then I have garlic coming up. I have like 9 garlic shoots right now, so looking good on that front. Potatoes are absolutely taking over. Nicholas and I were mounding them up yesterday, and they're starting to get little flower buds on them, so they're really doing well. I think we're going to end up being able to plant a second round of those and get even more. I keep forgetting that I have these green beans over here, but they're doing well too. On our inside row here along the inside of the fence, we ended up having 9 come up from that, 9 plants. I wasn't sure how those were going to go because ow, gracious. I wasn't sure how that was going to go because it is on a bit of a slope, and I wasn't sure how well the drainage would be, if it would wash all my seeds away, but they did okay. And then on this outside line of this fencing over here, I had 9 there as well. So altogether, we will end up having 18 green bean plants. We still have not gotten the trellises put in for that, but it's really okay. They're not quite to the stage of climbing yet, but they're getting close. So we will do that soon. And then my corn was kind of hit or miss, but what has sprouted is doing really well. As you can probably see, I've not been super anal about weeding. In the past, I have been. Last year, I was really on top of it, did a good job, but this year we have had so much rain that being able to beat the rain, like with the 1 day a week maybe of sunshine that we've had, being able to come out and actually maintain my beds has just not been doable for me. So I think I've had about 15 corn plants start up. It'll be good. I wanted to do 1 more row, but probably not going to end up getting that final row in. It's just not realistic to think that we will have time to till up more and do a whole other thing. I mean, I'm just trying to do what I can here, but I've pretty much accepted that due to weather and due to life circumstances and all that we've had going on with school finishing up and whatnot, that I am just at this point trying to keep the immediate area surrounding each plant clear of weeds so that it has room to grow. But the entire bed in and of itself is just going to be what it's going to be, and then come fall we'll do a really good job this year, hopefully, of putting down tarp so that we can have an easier time next spring when we're ready to plant next year's garden. And then in the corners over here, I'm pretty sure is where I have spread wildflowers, because I definitely think those are flowers starting to sprout up. I just don't know what kind. I had cosmos there last year, so it may be volunteer cosmos that are, I don't even know. And then my okra here, I planted down this side of the garden, and I have some volunteer potatoes happening. So I'm just gonna see what happens with those. I knew when I was planting the okra, when I was sowing those seeds, there was definitely a couple of small, like Yukon and baby red potatoes still burrowed deep down in the soil. So we're just gonna see what happens. They may not be worth anything, but it's worth a shot. And then I think I have 4 okra plants that have come up, and we had such an abundance of okra last year. We ended up having like 12 or 14 plants. So I think we're just gonna stick with 4 right now. I think I have ranunculus coming up right through here. I know that the whole front row of our bed here, of our garden here, is flowers, and I know that there's some wildflowers thrown in there. There's ranunculus, there's dahlia tubers that I put over here, and one of them is doing super well. The other one I kind of keep losing amongst all of the growth around it, but it's there. It's trying to do something, and I can't remember if I did a third one or not. Like I said, awful job of marking things. And then these middle beds are doing so well also. I know that they're flowers. That's the extent. One is lavender, one is half ranunculus and half something else, and then the other, I can't even remember what it is, but most of them are doing super well. Also, like I said, I've never planted flowers or started them from seeds other than the cosmos last year, so I don't know what a lot of these sprouts look like, and that was kind of part of the issue as well in weeding the beds when they were early sprouts, because I didn't want to pull my plants, obviously. And then my grow bag tomatoes are doing pretty well. I need to thin them also, but well, that one's doing really good. Okay, I have three that are doing incredibly well. So very excited about that, but all of them, I think at this point, no, all but two have sprouts. They actually have plants growing and doing their thing, so that's exciting. They're just a slower growth than everything else has been, but they are growing. I also planted them last, so that's probably part of it too. And then my berries I am just having such a time with. My elderberries this year are not producing a darn thing. I don't know if it's just so early. We're also having a cooler bout of weather right now. It's still producing green leaves, it's just not giving me any berry production, which I don't know. Like, I have some bottom branches that aren't producing a thing. And then my blueberry bush that I said if it doesn't produce this year, it's the third year I'm nixing it, and it's also not got a single green leaf on it. So I don't know if it's just this area over here is really not ideal for berries, because those elderberries were rocking the first year that I brought them home. I know that they were planted well because I got those from the Amish market. So I just don't know. But let me update you on our chickens really quickly, because I've already told you the sad news, but we have good news as well. So our 5 little chicks that you saw us get several weeks back are growing so rapidly. It's hey, I need you to move. It's these black ones and then the blondies right there. So there are 5 of those in total, and then we ended up getting these friendly ladies. We had some friends that ended up moving, and we took their 4 hens for now to give them time to build a new coop or determine if they're going to end up keeping chicks at all in their new space. So they may end up staying with us, but for right now we are just treating it like we are chicken sitting. But they actually are laying, so we've been getting some eggs from them, which is very exciting. Anyways, thanks for coming along. I was excited to get some flowers planted in pots, get my porch dressed up, and then give you a little update on our chickens in our garden. Hopefully it will just continue to grow, and we will continue to grow our homestead as well. So hope you'll subscribe if you're not already. Come on back next week. Hopefully I'll be more consistent now that school's out with my posting schedule, and we have some fun things to do around our yard and around our homestead. Hope you're having a great day, and I'll catch you next time. Bye guys.